to this prestigious special 5th year anniversary stream of Portal 2 on accident, kind of.
Yeah, that game that is currently being broadcast on
Yeah.
our Twitch channel, Portal 2.
Well, we're going to try and play Portal
He's-
2. I have to download an update. Mike has never played the co op. That's Mike Al's. I'm Eric Steven Allen, by the way.
Hi.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I've always been really sad that I never played the co-op in Portal 2 because everyone kind of paired up and went through it back when the game came out, and I was like the one guy I was a little bit late to the party, and there's nobody left to play it with me. So we waited 5 years so Eric would forget everything, and now we can play it.
yeah, I only have one very specific memory of playing that game. There's one puzzle that Kurt and I spent like 45 minutes across 2 days trying to figure out how
Wow.
to beat. But I don't know that I actually remember how to beat that puzzle. So,
I don't
but
think we're gonna
I'll let you take the lead for the most part, and I'll
Okay.
fill in the gaps where I can. But yeah, I'm looking forward to going back to that. Portal 2 is pretty fun. But in the meantime, I have to download an update, which is taking a stupid long amount of time for some reason. So I'm gonna stream some Dark Souls 3 for a moment.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Yeah, I'm getting near-ish the end of the game, I think, or like I think there's only like 3 or 4 bosses left for me, and I got to this boss on Saturday or something, and tried it like 4 or 5 times and couldn't beat it. And it's the first boss that I haven't beaten the first or second or third try, which is fine. But something about this game is just really boring to me, and
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's weird because
sad to hear that.
yeah, I mean, it's the game that of all the Dark Souls games, or all the Souls games, period, it is the one that is the most like the original Dark Souls, just mechanically and
Like to a fault.
yeah, and there's so many references and the mechanics are so similar. It's just like I've already done this 3 times, and I kind of don't need to do it again. Dark Souls 2 had a lot of flaws, but it was a lot different. And I never got to play Bloodborne, but that from what I know about that was also quite different. So,
I gotta say, I'm getting a lot of hitching on the stream. I don't know if that's just me.
it's probably because I'm downloading that patch. There's nothing I
Right.
can do about it unless I stop that, which I'm not going to do.
All right, fair enough. Ysigly1 wants to know if anyone here has played Neo, and I'm pretty sure the answer to that question is Neo.
Haha. Yeah, because neither of us have PlayStation 4s.
Yeah, sorry.
I tried to watch the Giant Bomb stream, but they played it for like 2 seconds, and they had just a bunch of network problems.
Oh, right, they
Connect
got
to the
booted off.
game, and yeah. I don't know. It looked like I thought the art style was pretty interesting, like a Dark Souls game that has kind of a ancient Japan like samurai kind of aesthetic, like is an appealing thought. But in that game, your stamina bar, if it reaches 0, you like go into a stagger mode, and your stamina bar also has you have like 4 different stances, and if you do a quick stance change, you do like an active reload to boost your stamina back up.
Hmm.
So you like
That sounds very complicated.
yeah, it's like it's like the JRPG thing of taking a really sort of elegant system and then layering a whole bunch of dumb systems on top of it just to make it more complicated, as opposed to making it more fun or more interesting.
Yeah, so just not being able to attack, block, or dodge is enough of a punishment. Like, they don't need to put your guy just kind of rocking back and forth on his feet, waiting for your stamina bar to recharge.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean,
It sounds like mastering the system is absolutely essential to playing the game well, as opposed to like I don't know. It sounds like the kind of thing where you should be able to do it if you want to deep dive on the game and get really good and wreck some shit. But I don't know. Seems like demanding that of players is maybe a little bit too far.
yeah, that's kind of where I fall on that too. Like, although this game has been so easy, like that's part of the reason I'm not interested in playing it really. Is that I've just sort of breezed through the regular game on this, and I don't know if it's just because like my typical like 2-hand strength build is just really good in this game or what, but
Oh, I've heard people saying that strength isn't even the way to go. So maybe the game is just not that hard, or maybe it's just that after 4 or 5 Souls games, you kind of got this figured out.
Yeah, I think that probably has something to do with it. But like this is like I said, this is the only boss that's really given me trouble because he seems to have like infinite stamina and he can kill you in like 2 hits. And he does a lot of like my Achilles heel in these games is like circle cuts, like
Right.
like any kind of broad fast swing that moves from right to left or left to right really fast.
Does you always dodge left or right, or?
Yeah, or because I always try to dodge backwards, and you kind of want to dodge with those hits or like into their body, and so I dodge back, but I don't
Yeah.
get far enough out of range and take the hit anyway. And
It sounds a bit like Four Kings in Dark Souls.
yeah, but
They do a
like
lot of big sweeping slices, but they telegraph them a lot. So if you're
yeah,
paying attention, you kind of know which way to go to get underneath them.
yeah, well,
Because they start up high. So if you dive towards their arm that is swinging, then you'll usually go underneath.
yeah. I didn't like the Four Kings never really gave me too much trouble. But I like Artorias. I struggled with the first time I fought him because of those kind of circle cuts. And also he was a guy that had like a bunch of like really hard hitting moves that he could combo in weird ways, and then I would always be able to get through everything, and then he would do that circle cut and I would just like get smashed.
It's funny. Everyone talks about Artorias being one of the best fights in Dark Souls, but I kind of steamrolled him. Like
Yeah.
maybe it took 2 or 3 tries. For me in Dark Souls the first time through, that's not a lot.
Yeah, you were playing
I
like
mean, stuff like
Zweihander, right?
totally.
Yeah, like
Yeah, well,
he's
same
that's
thing
like
you're
the
doing right now.
thing that he was the most susceptible to. Like I had a hard time with my magic build
Right, 'cause
against
you can get
him,
up close so
but
fast.
my strength build that I used the Great Club with, I beat him pretty easily the second time. But I beat everything really easily the second time. Ugh.
I don't know what the state of original Dark Souls PC online is right now. I still need to get some dudes to help me get the tail off of Seath for my magic user.
Yeah, I mean we could do that at some point. Um,
That
I'd
playthrough's
be
been
into
stalled
playing
out for
through
like
that
a year and a
sometime.
half.
I
I
think
mean,
with
partially because I
the.
got through my.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'll just say I partially stalled it because I got through my favorite part of the game, which is kind of everything up through Orlando, and also because I kind of felt like I made my point, which was that with the magician it's just way easier.
Right.
So I don't know. Once I'd taken out Ornstein and Smo, it didn't seem like there was going to be a whole lot more challenge ahead of me. But it would be worth trying like Artorias and Gwyn and see, because apparently those are much harder fights with the magic user.
Yeah, oh fuck. I'd be into playing that. I think it's pretty easy to get into like multiplayer stuff with that if you have the DS fix. Like has a thing that just lets you connect to your friends.
Yeah, I haven't looked into it in a while, and I don't know how it's changed since they switched away from Games for Windows Live.
What?
Well,
That's fucking
I'm sad.
garbage. I'm not really paying attention to this anyway. Like this is, I don't know. There's just something about this fight that is just, it's very much the Dark Souls 2 fight that, like there's a million bosses in Dark Souls 2 and half of them are basically this fight. And I just don't want to do it anymore. Which is a shame because like a lot of the level design and stuff in this game is really good, but I just their boss design needs to be more than like a dude in armor with a elemental weapon does.
Is there a lot of that
and,
in DS3?
not so
I
much
heard that
in
was a
Dark
problem
Souls
in
3.
DS2.
Yeah, it's more of a Dark
Yeah.
Souls 2 problem, but like most of the boss
That's why I
fights
don't
in
know
this
if I'm
game
ever
have
going to play
been
Dark Souls 2.
fairly uninspired. Yeah, but I mean, like in Dark Souls 2, they're mostly pretty easy. The really, really difficult ones are the most difficult one. The Fume Knight is like an extra boss in one of the DLCs.
It's not even about easy. It's just about boring. Like I like the boss fights that are really unique, interesting creatures and
Yeah,
stuff like Quelaag in Dark Souls. And
Dark Souls 2 also has like some of the best fights. There's like this one which takes place in this hollowed out coliseum where there's a horse-drawn chariot chasing you around, and you have to like run around the perimeter and hide in these alcoves and kill. There's like necromancers and skeletons like in the catacombs in Dark Souls 1 that are attacking you while you're trying to hide, and then you pull a switch and it destroys the chariot runs in and gets into it to a gate and gets blown up, and then you have to fight the evil horse that was pulling it.
The evil horse.
Yeah, it's actually like the evil horse is pretty good.
That sounds pretty metal.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's quite a few really good fights in Dark Souls 2. There's a lot of bosses in Dark Souls 2. I think arguably Dark Souls 2, one of the DLCs, has a fight against a big dragon called Sin. And it's like far and away the best dragon fight in any Dark Souls game. Because he actually, like, it's not like the typical Dark Souls Demon Souls dragon fight where it's like the dragon towers over you and you kind of like get in his crotch and like chop at his nutsack.
Or his ankles or whatever.
Yeah, he can actually fly, but only for a short time because he's like, I don't know, he's like the poison fire dragon or something. So he's like, his soul is poisoned and he can't fly for extended. There's some stupid lore reason for it, but anyway, he can only fly for like a very short amount of time. I didn't realize I could go back over here. But so anyway, like he does these like flies and dive bombs, and he'll fly overhead and shoot breath at you, but in a way that's much more natural than even like the Calamite fight, and it doesn't feel quite as cheap. It's actually like easier than Calamite, but it was the Dark Souls dragon that felt the most like fighting like a dragon from
a real dragon, like a real life dragon.
Yeah, like a real life dragon. Like I always imagined fighting a dragon would be from reading a J.R. Tolkien book or whatever.
Right. No, it's true that Calamite. I like the Calamite fight a lot, and it's I think one of the harder ones in Dark Souls. But it's true that it's not especially graceful the way he flies around.
Yeah, but Sin is really good. Ugh, that's nasty. But
you doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I didn't realize I could
see.
come behind this. What the fuck killed me that time? And the thing is like spitting fire at me or something.
I'll try to watch the
half my
replay.
health. That's bullshit.
Pretty hard to follow with the framiness.
Yeah. This Portal 2 is almost done. Yeah, I've dropped 13,000 frames, so that's pretty bad.
In the 15 minutes since we started.
Sometimes the frame rate in this game ain't great anyway, but
no, not even with your 970.
It's this game. I think I don't think it has anything to do with my hardware.
Right,
Like,
it's just badly optimized.
Yeah, it's like fine for a minute, and then you'll run through a door, and the frame rate will drop. Well, it's like streaming in the data from. I'm convinced that that's what all the problems stem from. Is that it just doesn't pull data from your hard drive in a way that is like optimal or something. Obviously, I'm a genius when it comes to game development and technical.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
We always say that about you.
Yes. But I just
Don't
like
need buffers the VSync like Eric.
Yeah, yep, that's me. Buffer and VSync. There we go.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens with graphics cards in the next 12 months or so.
The Pascal thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, whatever they want to calling it. Like, is it the 14 nanometers where they're going next?
Yeah.
I'm hoping that by the time I'm ready to buy a new card, those are going to be kind of feasible.
Right.
Or at the very least, they'll have knocked the price of like a 980 down to where a 970 is now.
Right. Oof. Get away.
But I'd like to get Future Tech if I could.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on what the performance looks like in those, but I might, if I end up building a PC, I don't know if I'm going to bother or not, but I may see if I can get a couple $100 for my 970 and
move up a bit.
yeah, especially if like the ones that come out early are in like the $400 range, like the 970s were when they came out. Like,
Sink another $200 into to make the switch.
yeah, just to get ahead of it a little bit.
I think you're already kind of ahead of things. I mean,
Yeah.
I can still run basically everything with my card, which is, a couple notches below the 970 right now.
Right.
Oh, do you stagger?
No,
Not
he
quite.
does like a. I think I'm not sure if he charges up during that or if that's like, I don't know. Oof. Because then he starts doing those like two-handed. You'll see like in just a second. He does like a two-handed stance with a big slash. Fuck, man, that one hit. Does
Actually, really, really hard to
damage.
see what's happening.
Yeah. It looks like Portal 2 is just about done. So.
It's entertaining. I gotta say that Dark Souls 3 looks really good.
Oh, it looks amazing for sure. I actually think that since you haven't played Dark Souls 2 and you haven't put as much time into the series overall as I have, like when this game gets to be like $20, you should definitely pick it up because I think you'll really enjoy it.
I'm considering it. I still have probably like, a third of Demon Souls left to play also, but this looks like something I might enjoy more.
Yeah, yeah. Demon Souls is kind of a grind, but I kind of like that. Like that kind of is lacking for me in this game. I think that's part of the reason why I'm not interested in it because it's not creating enough friction. You
I
know?
totally get you, and I think that's one of the big reasons why I don't like the back half of Dark Souls as much as the first half, is that after you beat Ornstein and Smough, nothing else is even close to that hard.
Yeah.
And like most of the bosses after that, I took out in like one or two tries, probably.
Yeah.
Except for
Also,
the Four Kings.
the back half of Dark Souls has like some of the laziest fucking bullshit imaginable.
Yeah. And
There's
I
a
didn't even play
giant
through most
lava
of Lost
pit.
East.
Yeah, giant lava pit with
With
dragon
butt dragon.
butts. Yeah, which should be cool.
Dragon
Fuck,
butts?
man. Okay, that must be what killed me last time. It's got like some sort of like super range attack. That was a good time to hit him.
I mean, if Dragon Butts were cool, you'd see a lot more of them on heavy metal album covers. And painted on the sides of vans. It's not that weird Eye of Sauron thing in the background attacking you, is it?
Yeah, I think that thing is doing damage to me. I think that's what killed me that time where I wasn't sure what killed me. I only need like 3 more hits, but I don't think I'm gonna get them. Plus, I have this ring that like gives me bonus damage. Oh shit! When I have at full health, and so oh no, that time I definitely got killed by the splash damage from one of those things.
It's a long fight.
Yeah.
There are not a lot of fights in Dark Souls that are that long.
Well, it's because you can only get like he does so much damage. I can only get hits in like like very rarely. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of all the ones that I've played. I can't think of any that would last that long.
Yeah.
Like
This
Ornstein and
is-
Smough takes a while because there's 2 of them.
Yeah, this is by far the hardest fight in this game, like by a long shot. I mean, I haven't finished it, obviously, but even some of the bosses that I've read, like that have gotten hung up on, I haven't really had much problem with. So I don't know. You gonna buy one of those fancy new PlayStation 4s when it comes out?
Probably not, but if the one thing that they could do that would make me consider it is to bring back backwards compatibility for all the older PlayStation games, because I own a whole bunch of those.
I feel like that would be really nice, but I don't see that happening because they make so much money selling those games.
Selling them again, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so shitty though, because now, like, how many of those old games are even available on the PS4? Like 10, 12? I don't know.
Not many.
I have series of like 30 PS1 classics on my account,
Gosh,
and it would be pretty sweet if I could play those games on a new console. Otherwise, I don't even know what I'd do with the thing. So,
yeah. I really kind of wanted to ask. Kurt's the one I really want to ask about it because he seems like the person that would be most likely to be interested in something like that. Although, I guess he has a
PC.
a PC now, so maybe that would
Yeah.
like Ugh, I guess I just can't. I thought maybe I could get a hit in on his back while he was in that stagger.
If you have a half decent gaming PC, it's hard to imagine why you would be super interested in one. Because I mean, there's just not that many exclusive PlayStation games, and all the ones I want to play are 20 years old.
Right.
Oh, speaking of which, I actually started playing Dragon Quarter recently.
Oh, did you start it? You mentioned you had it last week, so.
Yeah, cracked
What do you
open the
think?
seal. Like about 5 hours in so far. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's kind of a dour game in the sense that like you spend your entire time running through underground hallways, basically. Like there's nothing but underground hallways anywhere in the game, and it's really tough. And you can only save the game like once every hour and a half or so. I mean, not even because you have limited save tokens, right? You know, like they use the ink ribbon system from Resident Evil, but also just because there are no save points. I mean, you can always stop playing the game with a memo save that erases itself when you pick it up again. Thank God. But yeah, it's really stressful because like there's no source of
Shit,
free
shit,
healing.
shit, shit, shit.
Oh,
Sorry. No, go ahead.
all right.
I am listening, but I just I accidentally did a kick instead of a slash, and I almost got
Put you in a
myself
bad
killed.
place
Oh fuck.
at the end of that.
Yeah, I got him down to the E in Dragon Slayer, but I got a little too greedy. I really that kick
Every
totally
time
fucked me.
that will get you.
Yeah, I had him if
No,
I
but the
hadn't
greed will
accidentally
get you
done
every
that
time.
kick. Yeah. All right, Portal 2's ready, so
All right, let's make the switch. Yeah, so the fact that like there's no free healing, there's no inns where you can pay a cheap fee to get everyone back up to full health. You know, you're always using consumable items. There are no spells that heal you. So every time you take damage counts, and it just kind of grinds you down over again. And it makes it really feel like a survival horror game.